Picking it up from this side now, so they use a piece of pipe that they've cut and modified, and they think this little bucket is going to hold it. Oh, I'm going to get out before the chute starts flying. I see this being a big splash. Here comes the muck. So the aluminum stainless gate guys, they're back, just finishing off cleaning and polishing. Bare feet. It's interesting when it's this wet. I wonder how they can pour it to grade. You think it would self-level. If they did this back in the early days of construction when we poured our foundation and the 23 pulse. Yeah, imagine that. Like everybody else that does the construction here, not everybody else, but the people that are efficient could have had it poured in a day or two instead of a month. Imagine using a backhoe or something to dig the holes instead of using the little scoops, the same scoops that they're using to move the cement around. It's the one tool they use. They use it for leveling. I've seen them using it for chopped wire, hammering nails, weeding, digging their outhouse, digging in general, smoothing out cement. Yeah, they use it for everything. Oh, I have to show you something I just noticed interesting. So this truck here, where's my finger? This thing, this is what our original gate had on. Our stainless steel gate had these gold things with bird cages in them. I call that a bird cage. And the little gold balls. And the spikes, that gold spike is what they were going to put on top. Whoops, zoom out. And so because they'd already put all the posts on, I'm like, well, let's just at least put the silver ones on, or the chrome or stainless or whatever. So that's what they put on here. Because they already had all the rods instead of cutting them all off. But yeah, okay. Zoom out, back to the cement. Got to be wet, got to be clean, get the sand off. We want good bond. Right now you guys don't know it, but I'm being eaten by bugs on my legs while I shoot this video for you. Okay, we already established this for me, but anyways. So, similar idea. At home they have the long floats that they put on. It could be like anywhere from 1 meter to maybe 4 meters long. 2 meters off each side of center, and they have a long like aluminum pole, and they float it back and forth, and then they drag it back, float it, drag it back. It sort of brings the moisture to the top as well as gives it a nice smooth surface. Here the moisture just comes to the top because there's so much. Everything is moisture. But at the same time, the cement's not really our finished product. It's our base because we're putting tiles on top of it. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but it's pretty good. So here we are, end of day, Thursday, December 5th, and I'll give you the first sneak peek of the gate. We've had the cement poured today for the driveway. So they've got that all poured, they've scratched it up as best they can with the tools they have and the length of their arms. So it looks like it wasn't scratched at all in the middle because they would have been doing it from the sides and all around. But then they couldn't reach there, and for some reason they haven't done here. Oh, because they're not putting any tiles here, that's why. So all the tilings go inside here. So they've got this up now to protect it from the dogs, because what we don't want is the dogs walking on this part here. Keeping that as fresh and clean as possible. And otherwise, so this is the gate. So you'll notice that there's no gold on it anywhere, no bird cages, nothing like that. They've changed out all these bars, or they might have just built the new fence. But anyway, so now it's got all the chrome stainless stuff. It's all stainless, and those panels, which I can't reach right now. They're aluminum, boxed aluminum. They put the big spikes on top. They originally had the bars already there, but they had gold spikes on top. And you probably saw that video already if I use that clip. So we eliminated all the gold stuff, but because they already had the rods, we're like, okay, well, let's just stick chrome spikes on top. So they've done that. This piece here is actually the access gate that'll open up. There's a handle on it here, and the hinges are hidden inside that area, so this will open up this way. And then there's the main gate here, which will slide across. I came down tonight to see if I could sneak in to put a padlock on that, but I don't know if I'll be able to reach it. So the other changes today, this part of the fencing was all done now. So the smaller square bars are metal, and the frame structure is metal. These ones here are made out of like the same concrete fiber board that the upper part of the house is all coated in. So this is all going to be painted as well. So what else? They've started boxing in these things, but they were like this little one here, which they haven't done these two yet, but they were all like this before. And the blueprints show it like this, so it actually looks like it's got the big post and beam sort of structure on it. Painter was back, and he has changed the inner colors on these posts to the white. He's got a couple of coats on them now as well. They were briefly, they're calling it gray, but the same color of blue as the chimney. We'll see when it's all done. We've got a few bricks left over here, but we've had the Thai, the Buddhist thing here. Sorry, I can't give you the name. It was delivered today, and they're building a platform for it. I'll just come down here. Building a platform for it right here as I reach over the fence. So it looks like they've got the bricks going around it. They've got a cement base on it, and then they're starting to backfill with dirt. And then they will put a cement pad on top. So it's going to end up looking like this one here, I believe, with all tiled and everything. So it'll look like that. And then they'll put the pieces on top. That's from our neighbor. Thank you, doctor. Yeah, the spikes, they kind of stick up, but whatever. There is still plans to put the lights on these posts here. Mailbox and doorbell will be here. The house plaque thing will be there. More tiling. They were planning on doing the tiling as early as tomorrow, and I thought that seemed a little early. I know when I did any concrete sort of research, it says like usually like about a month if there's a slope on it. It says after about 4 days you can walk on it, but you wouldn't want to bring a dog or anything because the claws will definitely dig into it. But I guess when you're putting the tiles on top, it's just going to dry up. So that will be okay as well. So the cement was poured yesterday afternoon. I would say around 3 o'clock or so. And hard enough to not only walk on, but put the tiles down today. Here's the driveway going down. Tiles, they put the cement down yesterday. Oh, surprised actually. Because when I left, they already had 2 rows done, and that was hours ago. And they threw down those 2 rows in a short period of time. But Grandma hasn't been here for a while, so maybe they don't have the right consistency of cement, because she's a cement master. This is just a quick look at the water tank, which is still not hooked up. It's sort of plumbed in, and they fill it with the garden hose. They fill it up with water about a quarter of the way, turn the pump on, let it pressurize the system, quickly turn it off, go fix those leaks, come back, do it again. Then they wait a day because they can't tell if it's an old leak or a new leak, and I don't have all the answers. I just report on what I see. Yeah, so anyways, we still don't have water, but most of the leaks have been fixed. That's our pump down there, 350 watt. They also have this rating system, which is interesting. So normally it goes 1 to 5, and then if you're 5, it's a good rating. This one here is a 5 plus a triple star. So it's kind of like having like a 6 or a 10 or whatever the scale is. The old scale used to go to 5s. Now they've improved on that, so they might have to readjust their scale. But then all the old stickers will be wrong on all the appliances. It's like in Canada we call it our Energy Wise guide. And I notice here in Thailand they leave the sticker on like everything. Even though, you know, you say you go look at your friend's house that's a couple of years old, they still have the stickers on everything. So maybe they're messy to take off, I don't know. But I don't plan on leaving them like on the TV, the oven, fridge, no. But anywho, just a little. So anyway, so that's a 5 plus 3. So that's super efficient. This is where the main water comes from the city, which they used a puny line to get it here. No reason. They should have used the big one, just like... Anyways, so then they adapted it to the big one, which comes up here, then goes through the filter, and then back down and into the tank. Here. This one here is just a garden hose attachment coming off of the city. So it's not pressurized, this one. Once it goes through the filter system into the tank, then from here, this is the little maze. So it'll come this way, and if this one is shut off, and I'll get back to that, it's shut off, so it'll come up here through a one-way check valve, so there's no back feed here into the pump, where it's then pressurized, returns here through another one-way check valve. This one's open, and then it goes here. This feeds the house. This used to be about 1 meter long, but the guy cut it off at ground level when he attached this. If the pump is ever off, what we can do is turn this valve off, which is the first line of defense, although I guess with the check valve it's not absolutely necessary. But anyways, we would turn this one off and open this one up. So then what happens is the water comes from the tank, and it just does a gravity feed. So we can still flush toilets, do everything, whatever's on the main floor, which is where we have our water. So there wouldn't be any problem there. So that's the system. This lady here is one of the best smoothers in the business, or at least best in Buriram. She does a really good job. She was the one that was bit by the soy dog up near the hospital. So Jen took her to the emergency just to get it checked out, get a tetanus shot. She was fine, back at work the next day, or even later the same day, because she needed a ride home. So this is her work here. Very good. But here, yeah, this is going to be for the shrines that were delivered. They're not called shrines. I'm sorry, I don't know the name. We have 2 homes because there was an existing home, these little Buddhist homes. I don't know. So there was one existing one here, and so it was underneath a walnut tree or something, and so that was from Jen's grandparents had one. So you can't actually get rid of it, but because it was wood, and it's 40 years old, we couldn't reuse it. So she prayed to the Buddha, or told them that she was going to get him a new one. So that's why there's the new one, and then the other one is, I guess, because it's Jen's now. If you know, maybe you can just comment below, but that's my understanding. So this is the base that they're building up here. I thought it was going to be a stage and I could bring my drum set. Ooh, we got a situation here, Bob. We got holes. Anyway, so this is where those homes are going to go. And then the monk is coming out to bless the house, I think on the 15th of December. And the sunset is happening right now as I speak. So for today, that's it. The video may continue onto tomorrow of furniture and appliances, things like that. But that's all coming up, so stay tuned, and there'll be more shortly.
Hey YouTube, it's PolarAttack. My vlog will feature travel and adventure touring. Come along for the ride. What's stopping you? Come on, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. Hey YouTube, it's PolarAttack. My vlog will feature travel and adventure touring. Come along for the ride. What's stopping you? Come on, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this.